Hey guys, it's week 56. I feel like I've reached a really important product milestone. I'll share how this feels, what it means, and we'll talk about getting ready for a product hunt launch for Dropboard. So first of all, purchases and signups continue to go really well. And this is really the place I've been shooting for because now I'm afforded some time and patience. Before momentum starts pushing itself forward, every single day that you don't move the needle, you feel it. It makes it extremely hard to not be in a constant state of urgency, and it limits your ability to do long-term thinking. Ultimately, though, that's a good feeling because it shows that you're tapped into reality. You should feel that urgency. And it's just true that until you have a steady drip of customers, you are in a state of urgency. The speed of that drip is not so important, but the fact that customers are coming in without you having to close each one specifically is a major milestone. As I've been babysitting Dropboard through these early months of growth, I've paid a lot of attention to every anomaly and customer support concern. And although that process never ends, with the bug fixes I implemented this week, I can really feel that I've broken through the early stage woes where you find out what real production use of your app reveals about its reliability and inner workings. And now I feel extremely good about the Dropboard offering and the fulfillment of the promise that I'm making to customers. That confidence is priceless because my belief in my product is grounding. It helps me make calmer, more realistic decisions, and it comes through to the responses I make to my customers and to the marketing on the site. So with all that, I feel like now it's time for the next phase of marketing, launching on Product Hunt. Those of you who followed me from the beginning probably know that my take on Product Hunt is this. It's an unknown quantity for what it's going to bring to you. You may be overwhelmed with attention, feedback, signups, and even purchases. It may be the thing that really bumps the momentum and starts a whole new track for word of mouth growth. You also might get absolutely nothing out of it. But even with a weak showing, I feel like you can extract some good validation from any launch. Scroll back to my day 140 video and you will see this vividly from when I launched Snaptro on Product Hunt. And in that video, I talk a little bit more about my history with Product Hunt and the perspective I've gained from having several launches there. The Product Hunt algorithm has historically been not super fair in my opinion, especially if you're unlucky enough to launch on some day that like a new line of Macs comes out, for instance. But I've heard recently from Product Hunt that they've made some changes. So hopefully we'll benefit from a fair experience this go around. So it's time to prep for that launch, and that means writing a snappy tagline, a description, putting together some graphics, and my maker's comment. One thing that's new with Product Hunt since I launched Snaptro last summer is that now when you schedule a launch, you can get a coming soon page. And that could be a really good way to gain some audience before launch day. So we'll see how that works out. I have no idea how useful that's gonna be. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to schedule my launch a few weeks ahead of time so I could test that feature out. So I've scheduled my launch for April 21st. I hope you'll all meet me there. And I thought a lot about which day of the week to launch on. Typically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the strongest days, but they're also the most competitive days. I thought I'd launch on a slightly quieter day to have a better chance of reaching the top. And also my weekly videos are on Fridays. So I thought I'd make the launch coincide with my weekly video. That way all of you guys get a nice little reminder to maybe go check out my product, possibly give me an upvote. So put that date in your calendar, please. Friday, April 21st. There are lots of good resources for preparing your Product Hunt launch, starting with Product Hunt's own checklist. So this one right here gives you kind of all the details you need about what to prepare, name of the product, your tagline, your description, the links, topics that you want to choose, and thumbnails and images that you need to prepare. So here's what I've been working on for Dropboard. First of all, I've been around the block on this before, as you guys have seen from day 140 with Snaptro. So first thing I did was come into my designs for Snaptro and check out what I did there. And so here's what I created for Snaptro, which is basically an app that lets you create 60-second video intro pages. And these were the assets that I created for that. So what I really did was copy that format and use it as a scratch base to start thinking about how to do this for Dropboard. And one nice thing here is I prepared a ton of different marketing materials for applying to Wix, applying to Shopify, and iterating on that. So I've got a really good sense of how I want to present my product. So that led me to this kind of format right here. So the first thing I want to show, the main image is basically you can add Dropboard to your website. It's going to show your jobs. And then part two of that is when those candidates apply to those jobs, they're applying from your website and you're going to get them in your inbox. So showing how simple that is, really highlighting the fact that every resume is converted to PDF, which just makes it easier for you. Then I want to get right into one of the biggest features, which is adding your own questions to the application form. People really care about this, so I want this to be, even though this is part of the Dropboard business plan, I still want people to be really thinking about this when they think about the product. Another major question people are going to have is, well, how am I going to make this look good on my site, and Dropboard does all sorts of customizations, so I want to make that clear. And then this last one I'm still kind of working on, but I think this is what I'm going to end up with, which is basically saying you can trust us to give your candidates a really nice experience that's going to reflect really well on you. We're always thinking about the candidate's experience from start to finish. And then the next thing I did was go to my Snaptro launch and check it out from here. So then I took a screenshot of how this is going to look, and I dropped it into my Figma design and replaced it with everything I've been working on for Dropboard. So I put in the screenshots here. I kept the people who voted for me and the kind of label here, but I started playing with the tagline, with the description, and really wanted to see how this is going to look in real life when I launch it. And this process also made me realize exactly how best to describe Dropboard. And also I probably need a new tutorial video that's updated with some of the latest features. I really recommend for a product hunt launch that you come up with a short list of goals. And not only that, but you think about how you're going to react if you get a strong response or a weak response for each of those goals. This is going to help you realize if there's some things missing before you actually schedule your launch. So is your marketing really nice and chiseled? Do you have the things in there that are going to help you achieve your goals? So here are my goals for this launch. First of all, I want to validate jumping into the SaaS market. I've already got validation that people love Dropboard on the Wix marketplace. I want to see that success replicated in a true SaaS self-service environment. So for that goal, if I get a weak response, it's going to cause me to ask this question: why is this working so well in Wix and not in a self-service situation? Is the installation too hard? Does Dropboard work better for less tech-savvy users? And if I get a positive response on this goal, are we seeing the same kinds of organizations sign up that we're seeing in the Wix marketplace, or is it a totally different segment? And then in general, are we seeing the same kind of love for the product that we're receiving in Wix, or are other features or parts of the app shining through? Goal number 2, which is really an extension of goal number 1, is purchases. I'd really like to see some purchases. I'm not really sure how many to really think about in terms of a goal, but I'd like to see at least one purchase. If I don't get any purchases, it's going to cause me to investigate what holdups are preventing me from marketing this to a wider audience. Is there another use case or a different pricing structure that would have worked better? Do we need to pivot to get this kind of market? If I do get purchases, that just means we have a green light to pursue the next round of marketing initiatives. And number 3, and this is definitely a secondary goal, you can't necessarily have all your goals be achieved. I've been thinking a lot about an affiliate marketing program for Dropboard and how it might work. An affiliate program is basically partnering with people to bring you customers and you share revenue with them. If I get a weak response on this front, I'll still want to explore an affiliate program, because getting a weak response could mean that the audience from Product Hunt was mostly interested in using the product and not necessarily selling the product. But if I get a positive response here, I want to circle back with those folks and try to see what kind of program I can make that would work best. And really, I want to gauge that level of interest to see if I should just stop everything and move to that, or if I should just keep it at a normal marketing priority. One reason that I wanted to schedule my Product Hunt launch now is because I have a handful of tasks that I want to get done, and I think I can do these pretty easily in 2 weeks' time. So this gives me the ability to create that coming soon page, test it out to see if it actually drives any traffic or helps my launch at all, while I work on moving forward all those improvements that I need by the time launch day comes. Anytime I can parallelize my work, I want to do it, because as a solo maker, how you spend your time is the most precious thing you control. Okay guys, that's it for this week. Next week, I'm going to start digging into these tasks to get ready for the Product Hunt launch so that we can have the most successful launch possible. I hope you'll join me on April 21st, and I will see you next week. Thanks.